Hi, good morning, everybody. This is Robin from Roaming with Rover, and this is Finish It Friday. We made a lot of progress on stuff this week, so I got a lot of things to show you. I'm very excited. So let's jump right into it. So I've got everything all lined up out here, so we can just grab it and show it to you. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the socks. So you remember last week we had decided that we were done fighting with that pattern and it was just not working out for us. So this is what the socks look like now. All tore out, all rewound, ready to go to redo. And I think a lot of people gave comments on what they thought I should do, whether I should continue with the Hermione, sock pattern, or if I should try something easier. And the consensus is to try something easier. So I'm going to go, and I agree. And I'm going to go with the vanilla sock. And I've got lots of sock yarn, but I might just use this because it's so pretty. I don't mind it. So I'm going to try the vanilla sock pattern. I have ordered the needles. I wanted to buy from the little shop that I went to, but they didn't have the 9-inch needles in the size I needed. So I ordered those. They should be here anytime. And when they get here, then I'll start over with the socks on the vanilla sock. And so I'll make that. So that's the update on the socks. At some point, I will try to figure out how to do that magic loop thingy with these and do socks that way. But again, I'm just going to learn the basics of socks first, and then we'll worry about that. Okay, so socks are no more. The Granny Square sweater, the cocoon sweater, is really coming along. Look at that. It's getting big. Yeah, it's getting big. And remember last time I was struggling with that one corner, and then Cheryl Wells sent me a message and said to put a clippy in here just to remind me to do that extra chain. And I'll be danged if that did not work. That was all it took. Every time I get around to that clippy, I remember that extra chain, and I have no problem whatsoever remember to put that in there. So that's really come along. I've done about 5 rows since we last talked. I got quite a bit done this week on this. So it's coming along. Loving it, loving it. And in fact, remember that great big skein of yarn? That great big ball of comfort yarn? This is all we've got left of it. It was getting so tangled up. I finally just balled the end of it up last night because every time I would pull some out, I was getting yarn barf, and that was not fun. So I just took a couple of minutes and rolled it up into a ball. So this is all that's left out of that skein. So I'm for sure going to need a second skein for this, which I have. That's not a problem. But I was kind of wondering how much I would get out of that. So that was interesting that got this much. And I mean, we're getting there. We're definitely getting there size-wise. Yeah, so absolutely getting there. More than halfway, I would say. Don't lose that hook. Of course, I'm using my pretty, this is my eye hook from Furls. These are my favorite hooks from Furls. The acrylic streamline hook. They're not overly expensive. I mean, they still got a hefty price on them. You know, they're in the $20 range. But again, usually I get them. In fact, I always get them on sale. I either get them on sale or I buy them when they are the seconds. And then they're half off. So $12. Okay. That's that. This is the one I'm really proud of. Hey, I want to tell you guys, I really appreciate you watching my videos. I know that you've got a lot of videos that you could watch all day, and there's a million teen folks out there producing videos, and I appreciate the time you take to watch mine. If you wouldn't mind giving a thumbs up, and if you're enjoying the content, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and it helps us tremendously. Okay, the next project. This one I am very proud of. Very, very proud of. And that is, oops, I'm losing my little bit of yarn on there. Oh, losing my yarn. My hook's caught up in it. Oh no, my hook's caught up in it. This one, I'm using another furls. This one's a K. Set that right there so I don't lose it. And this is the Darla top. The Darla top I'm making out of the Comfy Cotton Blend. And look at this. I don't know where the top is. This is the neck. So we're going top down. So it's like this. Huh? Are we impressed? Okay. So if you remember, last time I had made the chain and the first round, and I realized that I was supposed to have connected it together. So I thought I could just connect it. And I decided that since this was such an important project, to just do it right. So I tore it out, started over, connected it the correct way. Got to about row 3 and I realized I had twisted my chain when I connected it, so it was doing this. It was turning into an infinity sweater, and that doesn't work too well. So I tore it out again and started over, and was very, 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 I thought I was careful the first time. I wasn't. So I was very careful the third time I made it and connected it the right way. And now I've been following along, and so each of these little clippies, the markers is the corners of the neck, like that. Let's try it on. I'm gonna lose my stitching. I have to be careful here. Okay, let's try it on. So it's top down, and I don't know where the front is. Oh, I had a little, there, that's the front. So this is what it looks like. Okay, it's gonna go over my neck. Ooh, there. Look, you can kind of see the square work making. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, what do you think? Pretty good for my first top. I'm loving the way, good Lord. Things are falling apart over there. I'm loving the way the colors are working up in this thing. It really, really looks pretty. So, and this is a nice size neckline. It went over my head real easy. It's not gonna stretch. You know, sometimes you put a shirt or sweater on, you have to really stretch it to get over. So yeah, this is working out real good. And that's how the color looks on that. Super pretty. And the color on this is called Chai Latte. It's got pinks and light blues and dark blues. I'll tell you what though, this has been really easy to work, and it's super soft. But surprisingly, it doesn't uncrochet. All of a sudden my mind went blank and I can't rip. When you're ripping it out. The dark blue, that little dark blue, when you get to that color, it snags. Isn't it funny how a certain color acts different from the other stuff? But the rest of it had no problem pulling out, but it would get to that dark blue and it would snag a little bit. I thought that was odd. So it's coming along. I'm really, really, really happy with the way this is working. All right, put this away. Put it down in here. Well, since I pulled out the sock, I had a blank space in my list of things I was working on. I mean, of course, I've got plenty of things and I could just work on them more, but you know me. So the other day in one of my lives, I think it was bingo. I hope you guys would check out bingo, Monday night bingo. It's 5 o'clock Pacific. We play 3 games and we have lots of prizes and we have a really good time visiting with people and talking. So one of the girls in bingo the other night had mentioned she was doing a crochet along by Spring. Oh dear, you guys know my brain. Spring the fiber something. Let me look. It's right here. Spring the Fiber Enthusiast. I thought that's what it was, but I wanted to make sure. Spring the Fiber Enthusiast. And I will add her info to the description, as well as Darla's. I don't think anything else I'm doing today is associated with anybody, but if it is, I'll add it down in there. So Spring the Fiber Enthusiast is doing a crochet along. And I'm like, oh, that sounds wonderful, but I don't have time for another project. And plus crochet alongs, you guys know my track record with those. I'm all gung-ho when they start, and then 2 or 3 weeks into it, I have moved on to something else. I'm going to take my little sweater, put it over my legs, because I'm a little bit chilly out here. So, they were talking about this beautiful shawl that she's doing. And I'm like, no, I don't want to start anything new. And I definitely don't want to start another crochet along, because I'm notorious for starting them and then not finishing them, not keeping up with them. And so I did not even check it out. I didn't even look into it. Well, you know how it is. A thing popped up on my video, and it was about this crochet along. And I thought, well, that's funny, because we were just talking about that. Of course, now I can't even find it. And it's called the Turbulent Skies Shawl. And I was looking here real quick to see if it says. It does not say on the description. I'm trying to make it quick talking. There we go. On the description, isn't that beautiful? It is so pretty. Such a pretty, pretty shawl. So somebody told me it's only 4 or 5 weeks. And I think one person said 4, and then I think I heard somewhere else, I think I heard that it said 5 weeks. So I'm like, okay, I can probably keep my brain focused for that amount of time. I was looking at the playlist to see if it says. Okay, so it says on the playlist, we've already got the first week complete. And it says there's 6 more videos. So there's probably a final one. I don't know. So 5 or 6 weeks. I'm like, okay, I can probably commit to that. Beautiful, beautiful shawl. Turbulent Skies shawl. But the thing that got me, man, you guys, Spring has put so much work into this. When she did her original video, she showed this shawl done in a 1 weight, a 2 weight, a 3 weight, and a 4 weight. The 4 weight didn't work out real well for her. She said she doesn't suggest it, and it was very, very tricky. But what caught me, what finally convinced me, it's my thing that I won from Miss Dana, Dana's Wanderlust Crochet. Hey, she's putting on an event the first weekend in October, and it is called the Northwest Yarny Social. Check it out, you guys. It sounds like a really, really cool event. I'll put the information down below in that too. But what got me convinced to do this shawl, she had done one in this exact yarn that I happen to have in my stash. It was from my Hobby Lobby yarn haul. So I paid $2 for this. $2. And when she was doing hers is done in a blue variation. Of course, I've got the purple. But I think she used some colors from one and some colors from a second one. I'm just starting at the top and going down. So I may only use these top 4 colors. But I couldn't quite tell if she was working off of 2 of these. But I think if she had done all of the colors, she may have only needed 1. So 1, possibly 2 of these to make this shawl. And so I'm going to be making this shawl for under $5. Under $5. Yeah, for sure I'm doing that. So, because, you buy these cool things and then you get home, you're like, what am I going to do with that? How often have you heard me say that? So anyway, I'm using a Furls G+. So that's a 4.5, pretty blue. And I'm using my yarn. I don't know what to call it. You put your yarn on there and then it helps you spin it. So I'm using that. And I have finished the first section, which I think was 15 rows. Isn't that beautiful? Get a good look at that. How pretty is that? It's nice to see it out here in the daylight, because inside you couldn't really tell the difference between the first 2 colors very much. But outside you can really, really tell the colors. And then let's see here. What's the next color? I don't want to drop these. So then you can see what the next colors are going to be. I can see why she did that. I can see why she skipped the next color and went right to the next one, and then the one that was more vibrant. Yeah. How beautiful is this going to be? See, I was really proud of myself too, because this is, so the middle part is virus shawl, basic virus shawl. And then the other, I think, you know, I don't know if this is her pattern. I think it must be. I think it must be her pattern that she's designed this. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. So pretty. I'm not sure how big it's going to be. She gave measurements, but I don't remember. But you know, I think it's your basic big triangle shawl size. And typically when you're doing a triangle shawl, because you start here, you can make it as big as you want. So if we get towards the end and I want it to be bigger, I'll just do another round. But that's my new make for this week. Because you know, I had to replace those socks. I had an open spot in the list. But yeah, so this is, I think it was 15 rows. Let me look, since I've got it up right here. It is, part 1 is 13 rows, the first 13 rows. So let me see if I can get it to, no, I can't. So the first 13 rows, and then, oh, here we go. Here's her showing it in a different color, in a real bright color. There. That's what the whole thing looks like. It's not too late to pop in. And of course, with the crochet along, you can truly join in at any time. So she drops the new one every Monday. So if you've got some yarn in your stash, you can grab and start this up. It took me the better part of a day to do it, but of course that's because I messed up, and I got all the way done, and I got all the way to this row, literally this row to the center, and I had this stitch was this stitch, and I knew it needed to be this stitch because the next one, this is a V stitch and this is a cluster. So I had to have a V here in order for the cluster to be there, and it wasn't. I had it backwards, and I couldn't figure out what I had done. Well, what I had done was on this row, on this round right there, I had 9 stitches and I needed to have 10. So I had to tear it all the way back to here and redo that, and then redo all this. So if it hadn't been for that, I would have had this done. I spent maybe an hour the first night, and then yesterday, probably 3 or 4 hours. So this is probably 5 hours worth of work for me. And her video is extremely clear and very, very easy to follow. Very easy to follow. So I highly recommend that from Spring, the Fiber Enthusiast. That beautiful shawl crochet along. Okay. Where are we on our Finish It Friday project? Did we finish our row? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, we did. So we finished the stripe, and it was stripe number 10. No, stripe number 9. Stripe number 9. And on this one, I'm using my, I think this is Coffee and Cream. The Furls Coffee and Cream. This is a J. Yep, J size 6. Yeah, so this is a J size 6. Oh, I didn't put this away with my shawl. I'll end up losing it. It's very convenient that every one of these needed a different size hook. Okay. And here we are. So the last row was this cross stitch row. Wow, that turned out pretty. That turned out pretty. So this is where we are. This is really looking nice. Look at all the different types of stitches. The checkerboard wasn't hard at all once I actually paid attention to the instructions. And then we had a bobble row, and I don't remember what this row was. Oh, there's some V stitches. And that was the star stitch. Nope, it's backwards. Little bobble here. There's the star stitch. And then just sort of a window pane. Yeah, I think those are triple crochets. Could be wrong. And then these were the first ones. Just real basic stuff here. Very pretty. And here we did the back loop, so you can see it has a little bumpy edge to it. Yeah. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at on the striped Christmas blanket. This is a striped crochet sampler. And the pattern is Annie's. And you had to do their kit club to get the pattern. And so as you remember, I did the kit club. I got the pattern. That's the colors I'm doing. But for Finish It Friday, I grabbed the Christmas one so I could get it finished up in time for Christmas. So I'm actually making 2 of these at a time. I'm making the one out of their stuff, and I'm making this one. This I'm making out of, I think it's just basic Red Heart. It is. Let's see if I can I've got these tugged in here pretty tight. Yeah, it's just, look at the size of this thing. This is a jumbo. It's just basic Red Heart Super Saver yarn. 4-weight. Boy, these big ones have 530 yards. No, 744 yards. 744 yards. And this is a 14-ounce one. But what am I trying to say? It is acrylic, 100% acrylic. But it's working up fine. You know, your basic Red Heart. So this week, this is what caught me though. This week we are doing stripe 10. We're going to start stripe 10. Here we go. Here's 10, 11, and 12. So those are the next 3. So this week we're doing stripe 10. I have not started it yet. And I'm not even sure what the next color would be. I got to figure that out as well. But it kind of looks like, oh, they're calling it a rib stitch. Here's the picture. Yeah, rib stitch. Okay, I can see why that would kind of looks like ribbing on a sock or a sweater or something. And it literally is just row 2, half double crochet, and then a back post double crochet. That'll be easy. That will be easy. And it looks like there's about 6 rows of that, 7 rows of that. So that's this week's goal, get that finished. And I think that's it for Finish It Friday. Please take a look at the upcoming videos we've got going on. We have the bingo night every Monday. On Tuesdays, we have Visit With, and then we have a special guest that comes on, and we get to learn about some of our favorite crochet content creators. So I hope that you'll join us for that. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Stay safe.